So what I like to do here is, my patient would be trained if I'm walking in to the adjustment room. Typically, I'd have my patient already laying down, taking some deep breaths. I would not want them to lose this posture because that would just undo their relaxation. But maybe I'd come in and say, "Hey, Dawn, how's it going? Good to see you. Don't come up. How's everything feeling?" So again, you can have some of your conversation with the patient, and this is actually my palpation technique. I drop my entire body weight down, and I do two things at once. First thing is, as I'm going up and down the spine, I'm finding where the subluxations are. So I'm just using a cross traction-like technique to do that. So I can go all the way from the cervicals, usually from the lower cervicals, all the way down to the lumbars, okay, or the lower thoracics. Again, so that's one way to do it. And as I'm doing this, the reason why it's two-part is because by giving this kind of motion and leaning my whole body weight, as you can see, I'm not bending from my back. I'm actually bending my knees. I'm lowering my entire body weight so that I protect my own back. Because you guys need to remember that your body needs to stay in top performance, top peak performance, so that you can take care of your patients. And take it from me, I've had my slew of issues, and that's why I've had to become better with my adjustments and my body technique. Okay, so one is you start to connect with the patient, you can palpate, but the other thing is I'm tractioning the joints here. You're actually causing that pumping traction motion for the discs, which is another benefit to your patients, and it will make their adjustment go much smoother. So when you're thinking about, okay, well, how do I motion palpate the lumbars and the pelvis? Pretty simply, I just use my thenars, anything that's cushiony and padding on your hands. And again, I just check one side versus the other side. And what's great, if you are getting better and you're practicing these techniques of motion palpation, talk to your patient. This is another form of communication, but take it a step further and say, "Hey, Dawn, this left side of your pelvis, do you feel the difference here? Because to me, it's not moving the way the right side is." So this is, again, another way for you to connect to your patient and educate them about what you're finding, what the problem is. And as soon as you touch the spot that's subluxated, even though they didn't complain about it to you at the beginning of their visit, as soon as you point it out to them, guess what happens to your credibility? It goes up. They're going to trust you more that, oh, she knows what she's doing, or he knows what he's doing. He can find the problem. I didn't even tell him my back was sore. How did he know? Oh my goodness. And a lot of times you might find a problem like this and the patient will say, "I didn't even know it was sore back there." And maybe it was the Christmas lights I put up. That's part of what I heard today in my office. Maybe it was the Christmas lights I put up this weekend, or maybe it was this. So they sometimes don't even know. So again, it only makes you a better doctor. Okay. So great way, motion palpation. If you're going to motion palpate the cervicals, just the same. You can do this supine, of course, you can do this prone. You can take your fingers and go along the transverse processes of the cervical spine and just check for motion. And you can find, ooh, that's a spot right there. Dawn, by the way, this is C6. We're going to get this adjusted. This bone in particular houses the nerve that goes to your shoulders. It also goes into the first two fingers of your hand. So we don't want any numbness or tingling. So we're going to make sure we adjust that. Do you see what I just did there, docs? What I did was not only palpate, find the subluxation, but I educated him on what we're going to do, what problems can develop with that nerve. So again, it's another seed that I'm planting by teaching him about how these nerves affect the rest of his body. Here's another example for success. Since we're right here, Brenda, I'm just going to keep rolling here. Mm-hmm. If I was about to adjust his mid-back, when I find the subluxation, I would not only put my fingers and say, "Hey, Dawn, this spot right here. Do you feel that?" Again, he's going to confirm with you. "Yeah, how'd you know?" Okay, well, just to let you know, this is your 9th thoracic vertebrae. The nerve that comes out from here is an area that can affect your digestion, part of your stomach. So I'm not sure if you're having any heartburn, but it's important that we adjust this and free up that nerve so things are working properly. Again, this is what I call touch and tell. Simple thing to do while you're adjusting your patient is to teach them about other areas. Now, I would recommend, docs, not to do every single adjustment, every single bone that you're about to adjust. I would not suggest that you go through teaching them, but maybe on one visit, you say one thing, another visit, maybe you talk about a cervical, but don't overwhelm them, but teach them about the benefits of the adjustment that goes beyond musculoskeletal relief, because most of them don't even know, oh, that has something to do with that. Oh my God, I had no idea I do have heartburn. Maybe that's why I feel better after I get adjusted with my stomach. So it's important that you start to teach them these things and you don't have to do it all in one visit. Okay. So that would be another technique to kind of get better with your palpation and your teaching. Okay. So now